Over the last couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of posts on Twitter talking about how Paramount is mistreating the Avatar franchise and how they don't care about it and so on and so forth. And I don't think that's entirely true, personally. I think that Paramount has had some problems with marketing. I think that they have problems with keeping constant communication with the fandom. But I don't think that they're purposely trying to sabotage the franchise. I think that's actually wrong. I don't believe that in any capacity. And the reason why I believe this too is because I don't see Paramount really benefiting from messing up the series. They already put money into it. The only win I guess they could get, if anything, was maybe a tax write-off, but let's be real, I don't think that's the case either. When I look at Avatar and I look at its series, I've always seen a series that has strong cultural appreciation and a strong fan base who are dedicated to the series emotionally. But I never saw the financial aspect of Avatar really, standing out a lot. Like, think about it this way. Avatar The Last Airbender had a resurgence on Netflix. This resurgence made them greenlight Avatar Studios, but it makes you stop and think. Avatar was at its peak during The Last Airbender. The Legend of Korra always kind of had a shaky relationship with the fandom, but Avatar The Last Airbender was at its peak when it first aired. Don't you think that the Avatar Studios would have came out around that time? And think about what they already invested in right now. We already had the Avatar The Last Airbender or the Legend of Aang movie that came out. Well, it got leaked. It didn't even come out, but it got leaked. And they put millions into that movie. Then you have the Seven Haven TV series that has 2 seasons. That costs probably a lot of money to make, probably $1 million per episode. Let's be real here. And then on top of that, we have the new fighting game that's coming out in, July now. And those games, for example, we don't know how much that costs to make. It doesn't look super expensive, but it could be. Who knows? I don't know. But the point that I'm trying to get at is basically that they have put money into the franchise. But the real reality of the franchise is that the fandom has to put back into the franchise as well. I've seen a few tweets online, people saying that Avatar should be as big as Harry Potter or Star Wars. But the problem with those series is that they actually can survive even without content. Avatar has always been on that little shaky fence where people do check it out, but it's not really enough to expand the franchise. And there's this idea that Paramount doesn't know how to handle Avatar, and that doesn't make any sense to me because Paramount has series that dwarf Avatar financially. In fact, series that make Avatar look like a welfare check. Think about it. Star Trek, SpongeBob, Yellowstone, Transformers, Mission Impossible, Paw Patrol, TMNT. These series are financially stable. And the thing is, Paramount is not shy of letting you know how much their heavy hitters are actually making. Star Trek, SpongeBob, Yellowstone, Transformers, Mission Impossible, Paw Patrol, TMNT, Dora, so on and so forth. These series have their earnings revealed. You've seen what they were making in their peak years. You see what they're making now. And the reality is Avatar doesn't have these numbers readily available for us to see. So this only leads me to believe that either they don't care to post the earnings or it's not making as much money as people claim it is. And something that's kind of funny when you think about it is that iCarly is another series from Paramount that had a resurgence similar to Avatar on Netflix. And as soon as they saw the nostalgia kicking in, they saw everybody tuned into it. What they did was they made a reboot for the series. And the reboot lasted about 3 seasons before it got canceled. I believe they're making a movie to wrap up the cliffhanger, but so on and so forth. But if you look at iCarly got canceled because the ROI was not there. The return on investment was not there. And the reality of it all is that Avatar is going to be a far more expensive series to make. Let's be real here. Animation is not cheap. And with the leak of the Avatar Legend of Aang movie, things are not really looking too great for Avatar Studios as a whole. So if anything, the only way that this can be turned around is if the fan base shows up in a meaningful way. They have to show up for the fighting game that's coming out in July. So I want to at least see 2 million in 2 weeks for that game. Is it going to make that much money? I don't know, but I want to see at least 2 million in 2 weeks. If it can do even more than that, that would be great. But that's something that needs to actually do really well. Avatar Seven Havens, that series needs to be tight. The writing needs to be great. There needs to be a lot of merchandise afterwards. Like they have to make this the best Avatar series ever if they want this to actually get off the ground. But also the fan base has to put in too financially. They have to support the series financially. Avatar should be on the level of Star Wars. I agree. Avatar should be on the level of Harry Potter. I agree. But you have to be investing into the series for it to get to that level. The series will not just run off vibes. They won't just run off of people talking about it online and how much they hate Korra and how much Aang is a better Avatar. You need to turn out financially. If you don't turn out financially, the series is going to reflect your behavior. This is just me rambling about Avatar and its financial stuff, but I had a whole script about this that was probably like 11 pages long, but I'm not even gonna bother even recording that whole thing. It's not even really worth a conversation at this point. But that's just my personal 2 cents on the Avatar franchise as a whole. This series is great. I love this series. It's a big inspiration to me. It helped me become a creator. So when I see the series struggling the way it is, it just makes me kind of sad deep down. And I do want this franchise to grow. I want this franchise to elevate past this like weird limbo that it's been in for the last couple of years now. I do want to see more Avatar. I do want to see more of the universe. And I really am excited for Seven Havens. It looks fun. It looks really nice. But I want to see just a series that can revive itself, pick itself up from the ashes and create something completely new, create something that people are going to really tune into and really like. You see, Bright, they had issue with The Legend of Korra because of, Nickelodeon and scheduling issues and all this other stuff. But right now, they have a rare opportunity. They're not being dicked around by schedules. They're not being dicked around by nothing. They had months, not even months, they had years to get this series together. So if this series stinks, they have no excuse. They can't pull the network was doing this to them and blah, 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 blah. There is none of that. They have to make something high quality for people to enjoy. If it's dog ass, people are going to roast you rightfully because you have all this time to be making something good. Korra had excuses. Korra had network issues. Korra had a bunch of stuff that was going on. They didn't even know they were going to get multiple seasons. But now there is no excuse with Seven Havens. You can make the greatest series possible, but that is all up to you guys. If you cannot get this series up there like that, I'm talking about Bright, not the fans. If Bright, you guys can't write a good series, then this is your ass. They're going to chew you guys out because there is no reason why you guys can't create a good series now because there is nothing holding you back right now. But that's all I wanted to say. Until next time.